You've just tuned into Legends of the Panel podcast, your bi-weekly one-stop shop for comics, TV shows, interviews, news, and more. Hosted by your infallible hosts, the Lady Archer.
I'm trying to use all my words. My magic hat.
Your magic hat?
Yeah, I brought my hat. Do you want to see it?
Is it a sorting hat too? Oh, that wasn't a magic hat, man. And famously off-roading hosts Chulak and KJ the Comic Guy.
I am not going to do a Monty Python sketch.
Why not?
I'll go from doing that voice. I don't like spam. You know what? Across the, I love spam. I have spam, and spam.
Are you suggesting coconuts migrate? And now, to kick things off, here's the crew from Legends of the Panel podcast. KJ the Comic Guy, the Lady Archer, and Chulak.
You know something?
No, what?
You read too many comic books.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of Legends of the Panel podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chulak, with my other amazing co-host, KJ the Comic Guy.
Oh, come on. You got to go Lady Archer first. It's important the Lady Archer has to feel love.
Well, sometimes I don't know. She's so vicious to me, and she makes me want to cry.
Where. I'm a man with a small ego.
Funny. And we've got the Lady Archer over there in the corner. How are you, Miss Archer?
Hello, Internet. I'm quite good. I had a margarita. I'm recovering from all the emotional turmoil of TV. I mean, we have the Black Canary who died. I don't know if anybody else watches Once Upon a Time, but Captain Hook is still dead. It's been a rough week.
Hold on.
Fandom.
Captain Hook is still dead.
Is still well,
that's like Thomas and Martha Wayne.
What I find so funny is, and we'll briefly talk about this. There was a link that went out that says, "Is anybody really dead now?" Because every single major TV show, I think I actually just tweeted it not too long ago. Every single major TV show, everyone that you thought was dead is coming back to life in some way, shape, or form. So, are they really dead? I mean, Black Canary.
Batman. No. Batman's parents will forever be dead. Uncle Ben dead as a doornail.
Yes.
Unless it's Spider-Gwen, in which case he's still alive.
That's true.
But yeah, so welcome everyone to the show, Legends of the Panel podcast. Like I said, I'm one of your hosts, Chulak. If you are just listening to us for the first time on Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneFM, Pocket Cast, you name it, we're pretty much on it. You can also jump in live and join us in conversation at blab.im/Legends of the Panel. And you can also follow us on our Twitter.
Speaking of our usual followers, Bobby Anthem.
Mr. Anthem just jumped right in. How's it going, Mr. Anthem? Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at Legends Panel. Don't forget our sister show, Warp My TARDIS, which is our sci-fi podcast at Warp My TARDIS. And, of course, you can email us directly at legendsofthepanel@gmail.com and warpmytardis@gmail.com. So, guys, fun show today. I'm actually really proud of myself. I got the socials out there for the first time within the first 4 minutes instead of the first 45 minutes.
Oh, you did so good, baby.
I know I did so good today. I'm so proud of myself.
You should go get yourself a cookie for doing work.
I actually had a cupcake today at work, so I'm going to go ahead and count that. I'm pretty sure I'm over my calories for the day, but anyway. So welcome to the show, everyone. We've got a jam-packed session for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about some upcoming cons. Very, 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 very briefly, we're going to do some quick news recap, and then the epic thing that we've all wanted to do. It's going to be DC versus Marvel in this week's Versus. It's pretty much going to be a giant Versus show. And the Lady Archer has been kind enough to provide 6 characters 3 from DC, 3 from Marvel, which we are going to pit together versus each other. And we're going to let you kind of help guide us on who's going to win this battle. So have we decided, are we going to do 1 versus 1 or 3 versus 3 as like a team? You know, are we doing like a wrestling match, or how are we doing that today?
The way I put it together, I decided to do it like team on team.
Okay.
So, and I gotta tell you, I think I already have a winner in my mind. Maybe somebody can convince me otherwise, but I think it's a pretty awesome team. And one of the characters is actually one of my favorite characters, and so I think it's really going to be awesome to see how you guys react. And I don't think I talk about this character a lot, but she is one of my favorites.
Okay. Well, I think you kind of just gave it away, but because you texted me what the team matchup was.
Yeah, I told both of you, but I didn't tell Bobby Anthem.
Yes. We'll wait till that. We're gonna keep that under wraps. So yeah, guys, let's kind of jump in really quick about some local cons that we're kind of gearing up for. One thing that we're here in Charlotte gearing up for, which is next month. No, I just got off the phone or off the conversation talking with KJ about his flight. Pardon me, I'm adjusting a microphone here that's not being nice with my headset.
Flights.
Yes, flights. We're gearing up for our local convention here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is HeroesCon, which we were at last year, which is hosted by Heroes Aren't Hard to Find here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm pretty excited. Lady Archer and KJ both talked to you earlier today saying that I stopped by Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, the comic book shop that hosts the HeroesCon. And
you keep saying this thing. You keep saying that the heroes are hard to find. Is the comic book shop that hosts HeroesCon?
I know. I keep kind of plugging it, but I'm not intentionally plugging it. I'm just saying my story that I normally do.
Is that a cat? Hold on a second. Is that a cat that's basically talking in the background?
I think so.
No, it's Michelle. Excuse me. Her roommate is watching Life About. Life About Smitty? Life About Mitty?
Oh, Life is Smitty. Okay.
But yeah, so we're really excited for the con that's coming up. Obviously, we've got everyone kind of jumping in. Goodness, it got really loud really quick. But yeah, so that is coming up in June, which is right around the corner.
It's like a month from now. It's like a month away.
It is exactly like a month away. Oops, I gave her props.
Wait a second. In a month, I'm going to be in Charlotte? Awesome.
Yes, you are going to be in Charlotte. You're going to be here eating good food, drinking good drink, and geeking out with comics and fellow geeks. And you have friends that also live down here, too, that you're going to visit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've already contacted them, and they're like, awesome. You see you there. It's like, bonus.
I keep having to mute her. Sounds like
you're not muting her. You keep just giving her props, dude.
Well, apparently, when you click on the mute, it also.
Why are you muting me?
Because it's very loud.
Well, I just shut my door, so that should help.
Thank you. I'm
not going to be moving anymore, so.
Yes.
Stop it.
All right, no breathing. Move.
Breathing when I come over and punch you in the face.
No.
Okay, let's stop that. Yeah, we're really excited.
I'm sorry, I don't have fancy equipment like you two.
I keep telling you, next time you stop by here, I'm going to give you that other microphone. We keep But so Lady Archer, you've gone to the con. KJ, you've gone to the con before.
Yes, I have.
We talked about this on an episode of Legends of the Panel podcast almost a year ago when we went to the con, and it was almost like a where we kept talking about the con. What were your favorite takeaways from that con last year, KJ?
My sound went weird there for a second.
Yep. You there?
Yeah, everything's split.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. That was weird. It was like all of a sudden it was dead air. I was like, what happened?
Did you catch my my question?
Yeah, I heard your question, and I think the thing I took away is that I need to bring money to buy a Jason Latour original.
Yeah. I need to have money readily available for when Mr. Chris Campana, I'm calling you out, sir, calling you out again, when he does that awesome original artwork. Well, not original, but
you're not going to get that until Toronto. He's not going to Charlotte this year.
He's
got another event the same weekend.
He should.
He's got a local Joyzy event on that weekend. You can't pass up Joyzy. It's his home turf. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Boo. Chris, get your booty down here. We're more important. Not really. But we're gonna have to get him on the show. We gotta get that guy on the show.
I'm working on it. Trying to work around his schedule is near crazy.
I know. We may just do an impromptu show one day just to get the audio recording and video on Blab. Who knows? But so what? Again, you talked about you need to bring money for an original. But what else did you take away from the show last year that you enjoyed so much?
Heroes Con to me is probably what a classic comic book show should be. It was very little as far as media celebrities go. It was it was very small that way. It was a major show that was vendors in one half and it was artists in the other. And I think that's the key thing, is that people still want a classic comic book show. They don't just want all these media stars like what happens at Fan Expo Canada in Toronto.
And there's nothing wrong with having all of the the big celebrities, but like you said, it really does come down to people do want that original con, where they're going in, they're going for the comic books, they're going for the artists, they're going for the writers, they're going to collect comic books, meet other people that love comics, which is great. Where when you do go to those big cons, it's kind of oversaturated with media, like you say.
Well, wait until you get to San Diego, my friend, because that time in San Diego, you are just going to be like. Ugh!
I'm excited though. I am really excited about it.
Just don't fanboy, dude. Just don't fanboy.
He's going to do it. He can't control himself. It's just going to be nothing but Chulak freaking out. Maybe there will be some tears running down his face, and then
oh my God, it's Will Wheaton! Oh my God, it's Will Wheaton! Will Wheaton! Will Wheaton.
And then we're gonna see a special episode of Cops, where they have to take him down, and he gets taken out knees first.
It's Reno 911.
Officer Goodwood better not show up and try and cart me off to Reno. I'm not going with that, but I'm really excited. I think I'm going to fanboy the first day at the con.
No, every day.
No, the second day I think it'll kind of hit me, and I'm going to run around. But I am kind of bummed out that I don't get to go with you guys, because I think that would be.
I'm bummed out. We don't get to go either.
No, well, it's so weird to get tickets. So you have to apply, and then it's a lottery system. But not next year. But
first you have to have the money.
The tickets are actually really inexpensive. They were only about $60 for the 2 days that we're going.
It's the flights that kill you in accommodations.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm like I said, I'm really excited for it.
All right. I have to make a quick run. I'm being paged downstairs. I'll be back in a moment.
All right. So, Lady Archer, you and I went as well. What was your favorite thing at Heroes Con last year?
I like the fact that, the thing I like always about Charlotte's Comic Con is that you can go there and find comics. Like a lot of Comic Cons I've been to, it's this weird mixture of vendors and not even like comic book vendors, but just vendors who sell just random things that they could tie into comics. But you can find, I found some of my favorite artwork there, the 3 posters I bought. I've been looking for Rogue artwork for so long, and now that I found some there, I found a wonderful Black Canary poster and Batgirl poster as well. So there was art there. There were really good comic book collections to look through and find. I found a couple of issues that I have been looking for months to years, and then I also saw some like really nice comic related things to buy and to look at and maybe think about coming up this year to buy more of. So it was really something that was slated for comic book fans, and that's what I always like about Heroes Con. It's for a comic book person.
Yeah. I enjoyed it because I think we had just come back from the Lilac City Comic Con in
Spokane.
literally about 2 months beforehand, and I enjoyed it because it was an original con, very small, very private. Well, not private. It's not private because it's con, but it was it was really small, and
it was secluded. We had to knock and pass through Narnia.
Where did we go with that? I don't know where you just went with that, but
I know.
But yeah, so really great con, Heroes Con in Charlotte. We're going to be going back to. I think my favorite takeaway from that con was just the overall amount of artists that you could get so close to.
Yeah.
And rain.
Thing for this year, we have got to get our crap together. We got to remember who's coming this year because I missed out on a lot of artists that I didn't realize was going to be there because I didn't check the website because I'm a hardworking baker who sometimes forgets things. So we got to get our crap together. What?
Yes. Sorry, Danny Quick just posted in chat that Heroes Con is awesome. It is awesome. Hopefully we'll be going officially as press this year, so we're waiting to hear back from that. But we'll see what happens, how that plays out. But I would have to say though that with the con, yes, we do need to get all of our ducks in a row because I brought 3 books that I wanted signed, but found out that the guy that I wanted to sign my books wasn't going to be there until the next day, unfortunately, when I had to work. So I gave my books to KJ, who is currently off camera right now. I gave my books to him to see. Oh, here he comes back perfectly, but he can't hear us talking smack. Hey, KJ's awesome. He's a great guy.
You are such a liar.
I know I'm a jerk. Yeah. It's okay.
we were just talking smack.
Speaking of jerks, I still have artwork from Spokane that I've never given back to you. It's that not Deadshot. Deathstroke. Yeah, the Deathstroke picture.
She's still holding my art hostage. Thanks.
How dare she?
I forgot about it.
Yeah, I know you did. You did.
But anyway,
I still have it.
But yeah, really excited for that. We need to get all of our ducks in a row, guys. Who's going to get what signed, who's going to do what. Maybe we'll get some interviews, and if we go officially as press. But I'm excited because I think that KJ is going to fly in Friday night.
I get in Friday afternoon at like 20 to 6.
Yeah, so we'll probably go do a dinner. I know that they do a drink and draw type charity event the night of the first event. So maybe we'll try and do something like that. I don't know. We'll swing by.
Well, seriously, I will have been sitting in the Boston Logan Airport for 4 hours before I get on the flight to Charlotte.
So first we're going to hose him down.
He's going to come down wasted like, hey guys, how's it going? Let's go sign some books. No, let's not do that.
I'll have had at least a couple of harpoons.
There you go. Yeah, and the art auction. Danny Quick was right. The art auction is phenomenal. Yeah. They do a great job with that. They had, the art was so expensive, but
it's original art. Of course, it's expensive.
Yeah,
I don't think there was one picture of it that wasn't worth your immortal soul.
My soul is not immortal, so it's
immortal. Immortal? Wait, what is the word?
Your mortal soul.
Mortal soul. I would have. No, not mine. I'm not going to sell my soul. I would have sold your soul, though.
She would sell you to the devil. Oh my gosh.
You probably would get like $10 for it if you're lucky.
But not even. But you know what, Chulak? Bless your heart.
Oh, don't
bless your pea picking heart.
Oh yes. All right. Well, let's kind of jump into what we came here today. We'll come back to cons a little bit later on the end on the end of the show. Let's jump into why we're here. So, Danny Quick, you just joined at the perfect time because now we're going to jump into our top 3. For those of you that are listening in on the podcast right now, we are referring to our blab.im listeners and chatters, I guess you would say, that are currently interacting with us. So, guys, we're going to jump into our first full show of Versus. Normally, this is a small segment that we occasionally talk on Legends of the Panel podcast. But we decided, you know what, we haven't done a Versus, so we need to do a big one. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to put the top 3 in our eyes, well, the Lady Archer's eyes, and we agree, the top 3 DC and Marvel, and we've kind of brought them all together, and it's going to be a team fight. So, Lady Archer, if you would please tell us our top 3 from each team.
Okay.
But wait a minute, where's the stinger? Where's our stinger?
You hold on. You wait a minute.
Oh, Lord.
He's like, oh no. All right, so you want the stinger? I don't think you can handle the stinger. You ready? Fine.
Versus.
There, I played it.
Oh, anyway, from Marvel, I'm going to tell you guys the teams, and then I'll explain their powers to you. So from Marvel, we have the Scarlet Witch, Psylocke, and Black Bolt. Versus from DC, Martian Manhunter, Captain Atom, and Dr. Fate. Now, let's get down to what their powers are. So for Scarlet Witch, she can manipulate probability, she can light objects on fire, remove air from objects, deflect and stop objects, explode objects as well, create force fields, deflect magic. She uses kind of like a chaos magic kind of thing. She can change reality, but so here are her limitations. She has to be in sight to basically send her hexes or her magic to do its work. She has to concentrate. She can't just flippantly do anything. She has to be able to concentrate and to see what she's trying to do. Sometimes her hexes can backfire and they don't always work perfectly. And if she overexerts herself, it affects her ability to do the hexes. But she's an expert in combat training. So she's been trained by Captain America and Hawkeye and Wonder Man. So they have given her years and years of training as well. Now we have Psylocke, which this is the one I was talking about. This is one of my favorite ones. I don't talk about her a lot because she's not in my top 5. She is in my top 10, and she is terribly powerful. She has telepathic abilities. She can control minds. She can tap in and subdue and use other people's powers. She can affect memories. She can project mental illusions. She's had these things called thigh bolts, as well as a knife and a katana. And these are things that she's created with her mind that can stun, injure, or kill people. She can astro project herself. She is such a powerful telepath. She can scan entire towns and read everybody's mind in that town. She has a limited precognitive power, which can see probable futures, but it's not something that's always a guarantee. She can make herself levitate, and she can basically create mental shields around herself and other people. The only drawback that she really has is because she's such a powerful mutant, she has nobody to help develop her skills. So she's kind of limited to the fact that she doesn't know how powerful she could be. Okay.
So she's kind of like a play with not a Jean Grey, but similar on the story. Like she doesn't really know her power.
To a certain extent.
Okay.
All right, and then Black Bolt. Now, Black Bolt is your typical Inhuman. He has
He's royalty, is he not? Pretty much.
He is the king of the Inhumans. He has really he's very strong. He has great stamina, durability, reflexes. His main power is his sonic scream. At full force, it can destroy a planet. Even a whisper can rock a battleship. He has this blow that he calls the Master Blow, where he can really ramp up his power and just knock the crap out of you. He can fly. He can protect a force field. He can jam electromagnets. Shit, I'm not saying this right. He can jam anything electric. He can jam up radio signals, telephones, things like that. And he's partially telepathic, and that's mainly within the other Inhuman royalty. He can signal his dog Lockjaw to transport him anywhere. And he only has a partial resistance to telepathic abilities.
Yeah, I was reading early on to try and get a catch up on some of these characters that you talked about, and it seems like Black Bolt has had a few different origins, 2 or 3, but most of them are pretty close.
Yeah, everybody has changed a little bit with iteration through iteration through iteration. I am basically going with the powers that you'll see more often.
Okay, so the ones that are commonly used that you see quite frequently. Okay.
All right, so now we have DC, and we have Martian Manhunter. Now he is from Mars, so he has extreme strength, durability. He can fly. He can regenerate himself just from a severed head. He has extreme shapelifting ability. He can expand himself. He can shrink himself. He can change into any kind of shape he wants. And he can manipulate his density, where he can be completely, he can lose his density and go through people, objects, both mechanical and human, and cause extreme pain and inflict death. His only weakness is fire. He's terrified of fire.
Cause wasn't there where like his family was?
Well, there's two reasons. One, the more recent in the New 52 is that he saw most of the Martian race destroyed by fire, and so he's terrified of it. The first one was I think it was the Eternals put the idea of fear of fire in all of the Martians' brains to try and control them, so they wouldn't become some crazy, angry species like they had been to start with.
Gotcha.
All right, now this is where DC. This is where the saving grace is. Captain Atom.
Captain Atom, you're gonna get. I would think that the other one that you're gonna mention in a second is more powerful than Atom.
He can will anything. He created an entire. Okay, so in one of the iterations of his story, his world was destroyed through a nuclear blast, which he survived. He created an entirely new planet with people, plants, everything, just by willing it. Because he can manipulate things on a subatomic level. He doesn't need air, he doesn't need food, he doesn't need water. He can absorb an infinite amount of energy. And it's only let me see if I can say this right. It's only his own imagination that stops him from keeping absorbing energy. So he can absorb an infinite amount. It's just his own body that he's like, all right, I gotta stop. He can control energy in any form, even magic. And if he absorbs enough energy, he can time travel into the past or present. He's also a captain in the army, so he does have army training.
Hang on. He's gonna go anywhere in the present. Isn't that basically mean he doesn't go anywhere? Time travel in the present is just the present.
Future, whatever.
KJ, stop it.
I
Behave.
can't help it.
All
Doctor
right.
Who thing.
All right,
Whoop.
and finally we have Dr. Fate. Now, he is your typical Lord of Order. He has various magic spellcasting, fighting, super strength, invulnerability, telekinesis, telepathic, fire manipulation, lightning manipulation. So basically, he is the end all of the magical universe in the DC.
Mm-hmm.
He can create almost anything out of magic. His only drawback is he has to know the spell, and he can't stop a spell once it's been cast and it's in effect.
So he can't undo it, is what you're saying. Once
Yes.
it's done, it's done.
Once
Okay.
it's done, it's done.
Now, I was doing more research on the Mr. Fate here, so to speak,
hmm
and I was reading up to where that most of his powers comes from his mask, which
Mhm.
is actually viewed by another immortal.
Naboo.
Now, I was going to say,
Naboo,
we did
yeah.
cover Captain Fate, Dr. Fate, in a previous version of Origins.
Yes.
You did?
Basically, except for
I was going to say, it was.
except for
Sorry, Lady Archer. I was just going to say, what's interesting is out of the 6 characters that we've picked for tonight, only one of them we've previously done on Origins.
So we
Yeah.
just jam-packed it with 5, 4, 5. Math is hard. 5.
basically
It's been
Captain
long,
Adam is the only person I haven't done an origin on.
It's interesting because like we said, we've got different backgrounds and there's different characters you can pull from. The Captain Adam that I'm thinking of, but he's fairly similar, is he was an Air Force pilot who then was pretty much blackmailed to go and be part of these experiments by a doctor, and pretty much they put him in a metallic alien egg that they found,
Mhm.
put a bomb under it, blew him up, and to see if he would survive, and if the metal would survive. And then once the explosion happened, they're like, "Where did it go?" And it actually blasted him 10 years into the future, and he pretty much just absorbs energy and keeps absorbing it, and then he can expel it. So it's interesting with the one that you're talking about, because I think that one is actually giving him more abilities and more power. So the one that you're mentioning, I'm bumping him up on the list a little bit for this fight that we're about to get out. So we've just gone over the 3. We've got Psylocke, we've got Dr. Fate, we have Captain Adam, and I've completely forgot the other 2 because my brain can only keep track
The
of
Scarlet
things
Witch
at once.
and Martian
Scarlet Witch.
Manhunter.
Manhunter.
Awesome.
And
So
so
Go
it's
ahead.
Scarlet Witch, Psylocke, Black Bolt versus Martian Manhunter, Captain Adam, Dr. Fate.
all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say team wise, who do I think wins? So don't go, people. Let's go team first. So KJ, think of it all. Think of all the power.
Honestly, this is a tight one. It's a real tight one. And the only reason I say that is because when you look at the characters and look at the abilities and the long term of what they've done in the comic book series, I actually am leaning slightly on as far as being a true Canadian sitting on the fence. I'm actually leaning slightly towards DC in this case. I'm a little bit on the Martian Manhunter and Dr. Fate side. Not so much on Black Bolt and Psylocke. Although, if you look at individual characters, that we'll do afterwards. Yeah. But as far as the team goes, I'm leaning towards DC.
I'd have to concur with this. I think that the Dr. Fate Martian Manhunter team up is pretty darn powerful. I think it's not necessarily one-sided. I do feel that I just think that Dr. Fate, if you were to pair them up against, say, like a Psylocke, that's pretty strong. But then you've got, Captain Atom, and you just have like the, unmeasurable power that he can put out. I mean, it's pretty much limitless. I'm going to go DC on this one. Lady Archer, I think we already know which side you're going for, but
I'm going for Marvel. Basically, I think Psylocke is the key. She can create a katana with her mind. Now, when she uses this katana, it can slice through anything. So it could slice through Captain Atom's metal suit and instantly expel his energy. Now, while he can bring himself together, that just opens him up for more of Psylocke's basically ripping apart of his abilities. I mean, once Psylocke is in there, she gets the Scarlet Witch to create a force field around them, so he could be forever creating energy to beat this force field, and she could be forever creating this force field around him. And then you have the Martian Manhunter. Now, Psylocke is a very powerful telepath. So I don't think the Martian Manhunter could break her. And with the fact that she could team up with Black Bolt to knock him down, she could light him on fire, done. Dr. Fate, he cannot... He's a Lord of Order. And the Scarlet Witch is chaos magic. That right there is just going to... It's just going to be an epic fight of who can stay without breaking the longest.
So,
but I mean, if you think about it, you have Black Bolt who could constantly just break apart Captain Atom with his voice over and over and over and over. You have Psylocke who can just keep Martian Manhunter thinking he's on fire for the rest of his life. And then you have Scarlet Witch and Dr. Fate constantly being pushed up against one another until basically I think she would break Dr. Fate's mask. Shut up, KJ. Break Dr. Fate's mask and then releasing the Boo into nothingness.
I don't know. I mean, and Danny Quick, that's a good
right.
point.
The manipulation of probability actually lines up against Domino more than anything else. Except
yes.
Domino is also a Marvel character.
Yes. Now, with the fact that Psylocke can sometimes, and unfortunately this isn't something she has developed because she has no one to help her develop, she could see the probabilities of the future. You have Scarlet Witch who can manipulate probabilities. They team up together and instantly they can keep getting their fight back in their corner. Yeah, I'm sorry, Marvel wins.
I think that with Psylocke, though, with the lack of training and everything, I think that there's going to be something in this fight.
Here's the other thing. You realize Lady Archer's gone with girl power?
Yeah, she's totally going girl power no matter what.
That's not a negative. That's not a negative.
That is a cheap shot.
No, it was not meant as a cheap shot. It was meant as just a pure point of you picked some of the most powerful female characters in Marvel's catalog to use in your choices here.
Now, what if Zatanna had been on the DC side?
She almost was, but she got booted for Dr. Fate for two reasons. One, her power is completely linked to her voice.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, in some cases, she has been able to, with her own blood, write out spells, but that is in very extreme cases. And so I just feel like that is too much of a Achilles heel to be like, well, they punch you in the throat, you're dead, you're dying. Bye.
The other catch for Zatanna is the fact that she is tied almost continuously to Constantine. So effectively, they are a team. You can't bring one without the other.
Yeah. No. Now we've all kind of talked about this a little bit. Does anyone else want to jump in and join the channel here, the seat, so to speak? Danny Quick, do you want to jump in and call in and voice your opinion on what you think and why you think that, or do you just want to? Anyone else want to jump in here?
I actually have to jump back out again. I've been paged again. I apologize. My children are being painful. So I will be back in a moment.
So I think that, and that's perfectly fine, Mr. Quick. Mr. Quick, I like that last name, Mr. Quick. Sounds like he should be a superhero.
Now, I'm not saying that DC wouldn't do some damage, because obviously you have Martian Manhunter, who even in a force field, he can reduce his density and he should be able to be released from the force field. You have Captain Atom, like I said, who can make things at will. I mean, in a comic, he actually cured somebody's cancer because he said, "Oh, cancer, you don't exist anymore in the body," and the cancer was gone. So I'm not saying that DC couldn't, come out from behind and really just take it to him. It's just the fact that you have the Scarlet Witch, you have Psylocke. If Black Bolt can keep Dr. Fate keep him from keeping keep him from concentrating and constantly breaking Adam down with his voice, those two are going to team up and just wipe the floor with DC.
Now, what if, though, they get the quick upper hand and it's a 3v1 and you quickly take out Psylocke?
How would you take out Psylocke?
I mean, I think that obviously Psylocke...
I think the only way you could possibly take out... I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you all the time. But the only way you could take out Psylocke, I really, truly believe, is if Captain Atom willed her to not exist anymore. And I think that's so against who he is that he would not do that.
I don't think he has to will her out of existence. I think he could just will her powers out and make her completely useless. So if he wills her power away, she
is her power. So I think if her power disappeared, because I mean, if you read the comics, it's because she has all this astral projection and things like that.
I'm gonna pause you 1 second. We've got Mr. Quick jumping in here real quick. Let's see what he has to say on the subject. But I do think that he's got a sleeping baby. Oh man. How's it going, Mr. Quick? Thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Pretty good. I've never used this thing before, so excuse me.
Glad I am. Yeah, this is new to us. We've been typically doing our podcast through Spreaker. We just stumbled upon this maybe about what a month, 2 months ago, Lady Archer? Something like that. And we've enjoyed it because we can interact with our listeners live. Yeah. So based on what you've kind of heard, it sounds like in your response in the chat, it sounds like you're going for Team Marvel.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
I would say just because of everything that Lady Archer said about Psylocke, she seems extremely overpowered. I don't know. I didn't know that she was that powerful, but now, Googling all of her powers, and she is really, really strong. So,
indeed, she is pretty strong. But now, so to my point a minute ago, if Captain Atom just willed her powers away, didn't hurt her, but took her powers away.
Well, I think her being immune to, it says she's immune to telepathic probes and attack, and she's and mind control and general illusion. So would that affect her, or does that not matter?
I agree with Mr. Quick. I think with the fact that she's invulnerable to that, and that her powers are so inept with her. I mean, even though she's a mutant, her powers are her. Mm-hmm. That he would have to will her away to make her powers go away. And I don't think, because Captain Atom, he was in the army, he has, typical guys in the army have, they don't want to have to kill to protect themselves. They'll kill for other people. I think that'll be against his nature.
She's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so it looks like Psylocke is pretty much untouchable on this one. But what about the other two on Marvel, KJ? Do you think that they could, DC, so to speak, get in there and take out the other two goons before Psylocke could really put the hurt on somebody and then eventually have a 3 versus 1.
Okay, so the issue I think you're going to run into is more a matter of where is Scarlet Witch going to go? Is she going to go Dr. Fate or is she going to go Martian Manhunter? If you compare their ability, Manhunter directly versus Scarlet Witch, they're pretty much level at each other. Now, the thing being that if Scarlet Witch bends his reality into the belief that there's fire, the same as Psylocke could do, then Manhunter's out. The catch there is normally that Manhunter is above and beyond having his brain manipulated, and that's what we have to remember is that he does have built-in protections as a Martian against that type of manipulation. So even though we've said Psylocke, she'd have to physically take him out. She'd have to take him out with that, mind over matter created katana type of thing. It wouldn't, in the case of Martian Manhunter, it just wouldn't work, to try and use psionics on his head. And it's the same thing for Scarlet Witch. She's not going to be able to do that. She's going to have to use her chaos magics to try and do something. Now, at the same time, let's take Black Bolt against Martian Manhunter. Right, one of the Royals from the Inhumans versus Martian Manhunter. What are you going to get there? And I think again, you end up with some very good. I mean, Lady Archer, you picked some really awesome characters here because we've got such a strong match, 1-to-1 of what we're seeing as far as these characters. You can almost mix them up in any way you want, and there's a really good matchup between them.
And that's what I really wanted. I know some people are going to be like, well, why didn't you choose Batman? Batman is an incredible fighter, no doubt. The problem is he has extreme weaknesses that can automatically take him down and fight. Now,
if you went with Batman, though, you'd have to go out Tony Stark.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted a fight that really highlighted some of the more outrageous characters of both Marvel and DC. Now, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, great people, great fighters. Wonder Woman has never had her strength fully tested, so you don't even know how strong she is. But Captain Atom that can create a planet out of his will, that's pretty incredible. Martian Manhunter, I recently did some more reading, and they talked about how they had to play down his powers for him to fit in the Justice League. And that's true, because if you think about it, he can expand his size in any direction. He can make himself into a dragon. He can make himself into a human. He can make himself into a 50-foot wall. It doesn't matter. He can expand and create and increase and decrease his density. Dr. Fate. He is a powerful Lord of Order. And yes, all of his magic is tied to that helmet, but as long as he has that helmet on, his powers are incredible. And I feel like why this team is made up of, powerful, strong-charactered, ready to take on a fight people, the fact that they have Psylocke and the Scarlet Witch to go point and Black Bolt to constantly barrage Martian Manhunter and Captain Atom and Dr. Fate over and over again with his sonic scream will just beat them down like a wave upon a rock.
I think she's pretty opinionated, KJ, from what we're hearing today on where she's going with this. It's almost as if she built the team for them to win.
Not necessarily.
No.
It really shows the difference in how DC treats their heroes and Marvel treats their heroes. Yeah. I found DC characters have more flaws for for them to overcome to be treated like gods. And Marvel characters have more powers that they just don't explore because they want to be human.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a huge difference between the two franchises. If you look at DC, it's I'm a god, I want to be a god, or I want to be treated like a god, so I have to explore all these powers. Whereas, and they're the characters have flaws. Their human sides have flaw. Whereas Marvel, I think you're right. Marvel, they give them all these superpowers that they just, I didn't know I could do that. When did that happen? And it's a lot of that exploration, and a lot of that allows Marvel to have done what they've done over the last several years, where a character can basically be reborn within its own series, because all of a sudden it's like, yeah, that power, it's not going to work anymore. Oh, here's a new one. Oh, wait a minute. I've already had that for years. I just wasn't using it.
And I feel like DC, when they created characters, they wanted to make sure that the character could always be broken down so that the fight could always continue, so to speak. So it's almost as if, if this superhero or this hero is godly, and untouchable, then what is the point of creating a villain? You have to have some type of weakness or something that, causes the fight for the superhero to lose, or possibly, be defeated and then come back and fight again. You can't always have these, impenetrable people. We talked about off air, bringing in the Eternals from DC, someone such as the Presence. Yeah. Or Lucifer, those were people, they can literally just will anything into existence or destroy it. They can create the multiverse or destroy it. Something like that has literally unlimited power. They can just think of a new superhero or a new villain and just be like, whatever. It's so, having something like that, that's why there's not so many of them in the DC universe. I mean, you could pretty much narrow everything down in the DC universe for those that have the unlimitless power that isn't checked. They don't have something that can put them into check. It's like 5. You can count most of the big superpowers like that down to 5. Marvel, though, there's a ton.
Yeah.
And they all have their different plays, their different stories, and who can do what. But I think the thing that I love about DC, and now we're kind of just going in DC versus Marvel, I like DC's depth. And it's base of heroes and villains. There's so many of them, but I think that having listened to the Lady Archer, I think this is the first time I'm going to say this.
No. She's lured you to the dark side with cookies, hasn't she?
Not cookies, brownies. She's got me with the brownies. I think that the team makeups, I'm going to throw this in there. I am going to throw this into the ring. I think she did stack the team on the Marvel side over the DC side. I would have thrown some other characters in DC. No, it would not have been Green Arrow, because Green Arrow would have gotten spanked horrifically. I love how she's laughing. Green Arrow's one of my favorites.
So when I was making the teams, I'm not gonna lie, it was easier to make a Marvel team than a DC team. I'm not gonna lie, because of what I stated earlier, the way the Marvel treats their characters versus DC treats their characters. So if you can think up a better DC character that stays within the parameters that I have created.
You have created, okay, all right.
And I mean, they have to. They can't. It's not a Batman character. It's got to be like a superhuman character, because that's what I feel would be a competitive edge. So you can tap one of the DC characters out to face one of the Marvel characters.
Just one, but you've got the Scarlet Witch.
What you guys just missed is I just shared the last 30 seconds from Blab, which included this contest, which I've just thrown out into the Warp My TARDIS Twitter, being, okay, we're looking for, it's a contest. Who is your DC trio? Who is your DC trio?
Yeah.
I like Mr. Quick, Psylocke and the Beast. Somebody get that thing going on Twitter.
Get that thing on Twitter. Well, I think that we're. Let's all do this. Let's build the stackable team. So, are we gonna keep the Marvel team as is, and then we're gonna build a DC team specifically for the Marvel team that she's created? Is that what we're doing? Should we do that way? Because then we're just gonna keep coming down to this fight over and over and over again.
I'm gonna say let's keep the Marvel team as is, and if you guys want to trade or put somebody else in for DC, we'll go for it.
Okay. I think I already have someone in mind, but I'm going to hold off onto that until the next show. Maybe too. I may have an alternate that I'll switch out. I don't know. I'm going to put him next to.
I agree with Danny Quick there. No using of capes because capes is just cheating.
That is very true.
Well, I wouldn't use Superman anyway because he's too much of a crybaby goody two shoes that
what?
He can't.
Because he's Canadian. Is this because he's Canadian?
Superman isn't Canadian. He's from Kansas.
Superman was originally created by a kid from Winnipeg. It's Canadian.
Anyway.
That's why we don't like it in America.
That's because we're bad and used all the words.
Again, I think if you traded out Martian Manhunter or Dr. Fate, because I think Captain Atom is a solid for this team. If you traded out Martian Manhunter or Captain Fate with Superman, I still think the Marvel would win because I think Psylocke is your ringer. She is just gonna.
I think
the team of the Psylocke and Scarlet Witch are your ringers. Actually, I think because of those two, they could do it.
I actually would drop Adam.
I would drop Adam
for Shazam.
What?
I wouldn't.
Okay,
I would go Shazam.
You know what's funny? Shazam almost made it on this list instead of Captain Atom, but I halted for one reason. You have a 10-year-old boy who is Shazam, and I don't think he has the maturity.
Hold on, Billy Batson is given the power of Shazam. And I mean, considering
I don't think he has
Hercules. I mean, come on, it's Hercules Atlas.
I feel like he doesn't have the life experience that would help him go up against Black Bolt, Psylocke, and Scarlet Witch. Those are three big personalities, big powers to go up against. And while he does, he has the wisdom of whatever, it
would be a direct.
He doesn't have the life experience.
But hang on a second. He's imbued with the life experience of those people, of those 7, characters. Him versus Black Adam. That's a direct shot. It's the Greek immortals against, the Inhumans.
Now, what I would be doing here, guys, is you guys keep talking superheroes. We haven't talked about villains. I would pull in a villain to put on this.
No.
Oh, is that out of the parameters?
That's out of the parameter. Because I wanted to pull in Thanos.
I wanted Darkseid.
Oh, Lobo's a good choice.
Yeah, Lobo's a good one too.
I almost put
but Lobo's more of an
Deadpool
anti-hero
instead of Black Bolt.
No.
Just because
why not?
Because he's such a wild card, you don't know what he's going to do. And because his constant regeneration abilities, like he would just be back and back and back and back.
Yeah, but his abilities aren't nearly as fast as Manhunter. Manhunter basically can restore himself in moments. Deadpool, it takes, at least overnight to grow a hand.
But I just think I almost did it because he's such a wild card. Like you don't know what he'll do, and because of that, you have this kind of improbability that anything happens.
I see where you're going. I don't disagree with that.
And you said Psylocke is immune to being like manipulated in her mind, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, regeneration-wise, if you're going to go regeneration, you might as well have gone with Wolverine.
Wolverine, there is a limit to his regeneration.
I thought about it, but honestly, the two things that Wolverine has is adamantium his adamantium skeleton and his regenerative process, and he can regenerate. And I didn't feel like that gave him a big enough edge to warrant being on that team. Because honestly, I think Captain Atom could just completely, eradicate his adamantium, and then all he is somebody who can just regenerate and regenerate. And I mean, we've seen where the Hulk smashed his brain so hard that he basically killed him.
Yeah,
not
true.
not that big up there.
It would be interesting is if you had allowed for the baddies to be in there. You throw in a Dark Side or a Doomsday. Either Doomsday or Dark Side.
I thought about it because I was thinking about Thanos or He eats worlds.
Oh, the World Eater. Oh, yeah. Well, but remember, Thanos and Darkseid, we covered both of those as part of Origins.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to our previous recordings, you need to go back and listen to the backlog.
Self-promote again. Speaking of which, you can actually subscribe to us on iTunes, Spreaker, TuneFM, Stitcher. Just Google or just Bing, I guess. Is Bing still a thing?
No.
Does people do Bing? I actually take that back. I have seen someone use Bing before. They typed in Google and Bing and then went to Google.
Just all I can say is don't be on the edge. Which is
right over my head.
Edge is Microsoft's replacement for Internet Explorer.
Oh, yeah. See now what I would do, just to make the Lady Archer so furious to where she would just quit in the argument and just give up and walk away. I know who I'm going to put on my DC team.
If you say Buster Gold,
yep, Booster Gold.
next time I see you, I'm punching you right in the nuts.
Please don't.
He is useless and wasteful, and Black Bolt will destroy him. Cyclops will pee on him, and Scarlet Witch will set the whole thing ablaze.
So for those of you just joining in onto our Spreaker or podcast, yeah, we just duked it out there for DC and Marvel, and we made Lady Archer very angry by telling her that we're going to put Booster Gold on our team.
Useless. He came from the future to the past to be famous. His only abilities is the fact that he is technology from the future. You know what, Booster Gold? You can go blank yourself.
And the reason why she's blanking herself out is because we are not an explicit episode this time.
Notice you said this time.
Who can control her language?
I really should have pushed a button to just beep her out. Beep, 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 beep.
Anyway, I think beeps are would be better.
By the end of the night. It's going to be Morse code by the end of the night. I would have to say that this has been a very... this has been a great versus. We haven't had something like this in a while. Normally, it's just 1-1. Although I do think that the Thanos Darkseid fight was pretty good.
That was a pretty awesome fight, yeah.
That was a good versus that we had there, but they're pretty much mirror images to each other. So yeah, that was. I think it's safe to say that we actually have the winner here, which is the Team Marvel right now, because she stacked the team.
No, I did not. I really, really tried. And if someone can find someone better for my DC team, I wouldn't hesitate to go back in there and duke it out. It's just that I think in Marvel, you have some amazingly, incredibly powerful people that, because of, like I said, how DC and Marvel treat their characters, I think Marvel would always win in a fight, in this kind of a fight. Now, if we pulled in villains, DC knock you right on your butt. They have some of the most incredible villains out there.
Now with the Darkseid in this fight, easy.
Oh, Darkseid. If you think about it, they have the devil. So.
Well, then you would also compare to Lucifer, Morningstar.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got there. You know who I found a little quiet there in the wings, listening in. We haven't heard a chirp in from Mr. Anthem. I know he typically listens in through his phone, but Mr. Anthem, when you have a moment, just go team Marvel or team DC whenever you're free. I'd like to hear what his thoughts are on the show. Whether you go into iTunes or whatever. We know that he likes to re-listen to these shows at a later time. Again, for those of you just joining into our podcast, we are on Blab IM on Legends Panel. You can catch us on Twitter at Legends Panel. You can also tweet us at Warp My TARDIS for our sister show as well, for our sci-fi. So let us know what you think. And if you have suggestions coming up for our next verses, feel free to email them at legendsofthepanel@gmail.com. So
and our shameless promotion for Warp My TARDIS next Tuesday, it's going to be Andromeda versus Farscape. Muppets meets Hercules.
Muppets meets Hercules. The only thing we need is a Xena to show up.
Oh, don't do that, because you know that there's a reboot for Xena. Yeah. It's coming.
Yeah, and
Lucy Lawless has nothing to do with it.
And they're going to actually explore the implied relationship between
lesbianism
and Gabrielle.
Oh, someone told me the other day that it's called Lebesians.
Wow.
I was like, okay, yeah. They're like, no, Lebesians. Whatever. But anywho. I'm really excited. I think this was KJ. I think this was a great versus. We
need to do one of these every once in a while. It doesn't need to be every episode, but every once in a while. We haven't had a versus in like 6 or 7 months. So,
yeah, it's definitely been a while. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up the versus side of the top 3 DC and Marvel characters that the Lady Archer has pulled together for this fight. After the end of this fight, Marvel was the winner here by slim margin, according to our polls here. Again, we'll have to come back at this with a new team makeup, and we'll see how we go. I like Danny Quick's hashtag Hulk Smash that he threw out there on Blab IM chat. So very interesting with that one. So guys, let's jump back into what we briefly started talking about before we jumped into versus.
Before we do that, since we still have been talking Marvel versus DC. Here's a little bit of news. Here's a little bit of news I got from the local comic book shop just this past weekend.
Okay. So, what do you got for us?
How much do you pay for a Marvel comic book?
Something like $3 to $4, depending on how big it is.
Yeah, they're $3.99, $4.99, even higher.
Yeah.
DC has come out and announced all of their comics are dropping back to $2.99 and will not be more than $2.99 a piece.
Okay. Interesting.
That's great, but it's not going to encourage me to buy more DC comics because I don't know. I buy the comics I like to read. I feel like comics are my splurge because I really don't spend a lot of money on a lot of different things.
So I'm kind of with the Lady Archer on this one. It's about the quality, not necessarily how many books can I buy this month. It is. I'm okay with spending $4 or $5 on a good book, rather than I need to get every book that comes out this week.
My issue with Marvel of late is the fact that do we really need 7 different Spidey series?
No.
Between Spider-Woman, Spider-Women, Spider-Gwen, Silk, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man,
Time Traveling, 2009, whatever.
Spider-Man 2099. That's 8 different Spider books. However, I will say, Mockingbird, I am following that book really, really closely because, Bobby and Hunter in issue 2. Yeah.
So
at first I thought I wouldn't. I don't know. I was on the fence about it because I was kind of afraid they were going to tie her character more into the way it was on S.H.I.E.L.D., which I didn't mind.
Yeah.
And then I saw that they're going to do her own character. I was like, okay, thank God. Woo.
So
Well, and a little
So-
S&M action in book 2 didn't.
All the corgis.
We lost your walk.
I saw that image. I saw that image online, and I was like, "What the heck is?" I thought it was some like fan fiction
No,
thing.
no,
that
that's
someone
actually
posted.
the
No.
book.
And then I found out it was in the book.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't own the book, but I read about it.
Bobby
Well, now that
finds
we-
Hunter in the Hellfire Club.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, now that we've got some new listeners in here, we can kind of pick their brain in the chat in the live chat here on Blab IM. So, what kind of books do you guys typically go for, Mr. Quick? If you're still there, are you a DC guy? Are you a Marvel guy? Are there any comic books that you're always rushing down to pick up as soon as they hit the shelves there? Let's see what his response is if he's still there. I know he had a baby in his arms when he popped in on the show briefly. But I think that I would have to say that indie comics, okay, like more of IDW and Vertigo,
Well, probably
or are we
probably
going
less IDW, more Boom, and probably the
Dynamite?
Dynamite, and then the Independents, the guys on Kickstarter.
Speaking of which, Mr. Quick, if you're just now listening to us for the first time, we've actually helped successfully kickstart a few local books here. Actually, this one right behind me is After the Gold Rush with Mr. Miles Grubb. Great book. He's coming out with a new book, or issue 2. Will be on Kickstarter at the beginning of June. So we're going to have him back on for an interview. And Australia, which is going to be coming out, I believe, the end of July. And, oh, yeah, hold on. I forgot the other one. 1 second.
Which, No Wonder? No Wonder comic.
That we got. I'll tell you, this one was an interesting read. I really liked it. I really love the story and the artwork from After the Gold Rush. But No Wonder, interesting story.
Now, the other thing we need to talk about before we jump back to cons, and I know I'm looking at the time. I see where we're at. This weekend. What is this weekend? What is Saturday?
Mother's Day.
No,
Also, when Civil War comes out, bitches.
no, that's Friday night as Civil War comes out.
Well,
Free
it's
comic
gonna be
days.
Saturday for me.
Saturday is free comic book day, which means get your backside down to Heroes Are Hard to Find.
Unfortunately, I have an event or have a training
Yeah, I
that
know,
I have to
I
go
know.
to.
So
Saturday.
I actually have in front of me Previews magazine, the May edition. So what
Are you still getting where are you buying them?
I actually
Okay,
got
I have
this at Planet X. Now I have to say, here are the comics that are a part of the major sponsors for Free Comic Book Day. There is a new Serenity Leaf on the Wind.
Ooh. Sorry, get really
Okay.
excited. Dang it.
There is
I have to go grab one for
There's
me.
the one that I'm after. ROM Space Knight issue number 0. Remember we talked about ROM Space Knight, and I had Lady Archer actually go and do an
Yeah.
origin for me on that. Doctor Who has got the 4 Doctors special edition. So that is Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, and Capaldi. Then going through the list, some of them are not so much. Oh, Lady Mechanica, that I adore so much, drawn by a Canadian. That one's there's a Lady Mechanica number 0 special.
I
Comic book
really
day edition.
tried to start reading that, but it never. Every time I get to my comic book store, it's always out because he doesn't order that many books,
Yeah,
and I've never really been confident enough to put it on my pull list.
no, I know. Assassin's Creed's coming out with their comic book. We've got what else? We got One Punch Man, a new version of The Tick. There's a Captain America Free Comic Book Day. Then, as I'm just running through, but also at the same time this week or during this month, we have ROM number 1, Snot Girl number 1. Don't even ask. It's Image is bringing that book out. Dark Horse has got Bounty, which is kind of Serenity meets what do they call it? I was reading it in here. Serenity meets Rat Queens. It's Rat Queens and Serenity. It's like Rat Queens, which is all weird, supposed to be Dungeons and Dragons like, except it's Serenity in space. So we got a bunch of new stuff coming out. It actually looks really good. The month of May has got a lot of really cool stuff happening.
Have you been, KJ, have you been reading the new Moon Knight series?
I have not. I have not been not wanting to. It's more a matter of what I can find at the local comic book shop. I don't get there as often as I used to when I was going to the Hall of Comics.
Well, their second book comes out this week, and I know you, Chulak, would like. We've always tried to get you into Moon Knight because basically Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman. So I was wondering if you had saw it and were reading it as well, because you hate jumping in the middle of a book, and I know this is like the second book this week. But I don't know if any of you are checking it out.
When I went to Heroes Aren't Hard to Find today, I was looking at some of their issues, and I did not see Moon Knight on the shelf. I'm sure I just overlooked it. I know that it was on my original pull list, but since then, I just went in. What did I grab? I grabbed the trade paperback number 3 of the Daredevil series because I wanted to catch up on all of those. I briefly talked about that I got number 1. I also got number 2 not too long ago. And then I got another Mockingbird, and let me grab the other one that I got. Hold on, I can't remember. My brain is gone.
Ooh.
Let's see. Now that we can actually talk comics today, because I actually went to a comic book store again. Don't make fun of me for this one. I know you are. Just because I'm a geek and I'm a nerd, and they're coming out with a new movie, and it's awful. It's good.
Is it Ninja Turtles?
Oh no,
it's Bill and Ted. I know you're like, what? And then I'm gonna give this one a try. The cover looked pretty cool and it looks interesting, and I think this is gonna be a fun read. It's actually called Snowfall.
I saw something about this.
So this is a book that I'm pretty excited. I haven't read it yet, but just perusing through it while I was waiting to talk to Carla at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, I really kind of liked the artwork, and the reading looked pretty good. And then the other snag that I got, which I'm excited for, I'm going to have to backdate this, but they only had this issue out. It's called Masks. Have you ever read it?
Something about it. I haven't actually read it.
Basically, what they're doing is they're looking at all of the heroes and villains that predominantly wear
masks.
Is that Mr. Freeze? No, it is not Mr. Freeze. It's a independent comic from Image Comics, and it's mature. Not Mr. Freeze, unfortunately. Close to it though. But Masks 2 is really interesting. They in the front page, it's going to show you the mask, so to speak, that they're going to uncover. And you've got things such as Black Terror, you've got Thunderbolt, you've got Sparrow, you've got the Shadow, you got Lady Satanic, Miss Furious, Kato, Green Hornet, Red Spider. You've got quite a few in here. So I like how they're kind of doing an individual panel and individual story from all of those. Currently, the one that I picked up was number 7 from Dynamite. And I'm pretty interested in this, so I'm going to have to backdate it and catch up with them. But I really like the artwork on this.
So I was just looking in that Previews magazine. A lot of the stuff that it's talking about for DC is coming out in July, which is Rebirth.
Uh-huh.
So what all comes out as part of Rebirth in July? Let's see. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey.
Yeah!
All new Batgirl. We're losing Babs Tarr as the artist. So the creative team's changing there. But Batgirl's going to Japan. Constantine the Hellraiser or Hellblazer is getting it's getting rebooted again. So there's
I don't know. Every time they do
Zatanna gonna make a bigger?
I don't know, but if it's based on Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, who are doing the artwork, Maybe she'll be bigger in presence than anyway.
You're so. That is horrible.
I'm trying to be careful here.
Careful. Yeah, there are small children that are listening that have no idea what you're referring to, but the moms and dads do. I like I said, I'm pretty excited with what's coming up. Now that I've gotten rid of job number 2, I'm gonna have more time to go to things like my comic book store.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, Lady Archer, you know what we're gonna have to do again? Like we used to do. We're gonna have to do our lunch date comic day on Wednesdays now. Gonna have to do it.
All right.
Because I miss that. Because we would get
see
together.
See how fast she's like, all right.
Yeah, she's like, okay. No, it's not going to be as early. Well, it's probably going to be. Well,
I was about to say, it may not be able to do it early like we used to. I started this new weightlifting regiment, and so I go to the gym right after work. And I will have to shower because I do get smelly.
Oh, so you weren't smelly before after all of the flour and the butter and the...
Well, it's a different smell.
It's a different aroma. It doesn't smell of grease.
It's not the smell of sweet sugar. It's the smell of disgusting sweat.
I do have a funny thing to say. It has nothing to do with comics. I know we got about 10 minutes left before the show wraps up. But today I was wearing a lanyard with the badge at work. It was a female's lanyard, but I had to use her badge to get into a secured area at the stadium today. And I briefly borrowed it, and I was walking down the hall, and there was a gentleman that goes, that's an interesting cologne, man. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. And I didn't think anything of it. And he goes, it actually smells really good. And then I realized that he was referring to the perfume that the lady had on the lanyard. So I go back in. I was like, hey, just want to let you know, I think I got hit on by a guy for your perfume. And she just started laughing. But anyway, so apparently I was walking around with women's perfume on by accident today. And the guy was like, smells pretty good. I'm like, okay, all right, cool, whatever. little weird, but yeah. So let's do a quick jump away from what we were recently talking about. Let's get back into
Cons.
Yeah, let's do some cons. Let's talk a little bit about guest list for Heroes Con, and then I want to do a quick guest list for Toronto Fan Expo. If you're okay with it.
I already have it pulled up, dude.
Oh, I knew you were going to do it too. So Heroes Con has actually got quite a bit added to their list recently.
Yes, they have 30 names added in the last bit. I actually reviewed the whole list. I went, yes. We need an interview. Yes.
So what I was telling the Lady Archer the other day is, if we could go ahead and start getting our list together, because we've been given permission to, at any point in time, schedule interviews at any point in time. And just if we do anything on the con floor, we need to link back to them so that they can post it on their website if they do. I mean, you've got tons of people. You got Babstar is going to be there.
Yep.
So those are the big names. We've already kind of talked about this.
So Babstar, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Jason Latour, and then Jacob Woodward, who I want to see because I know when he left IDW. So I'm not sure what he's doing now, whether he's independent or what he's doing, but he did the Star Trek Doctor Who crossover for IDW.
Yeah. The most recent post that they have posted on their website was April 29th. That is, we've added Brooke Allen, Wes Brooks, Jared Cullum, Joey Ellis, Coleman Ingle, Steve Epting, Luke Howard, Josh Latta, and Stuart Sager. So
and Epting, knowing Epting, 2 days before the con, he'll not show.
I don't know. I think something like this.
He's done it. He's done it 3 times now in Toronto for Fan Expo.
Well, we'll see. Maybe they like the South more than they like the North.
He's from Toronto, dude.
I know, but there's barbecue down here. Good barbecue. Maybe.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we're
barbecue. We have a lot of breweries that are awesome.
We have beer. The only thing we don't have that I kind of wish, well, I think it's just the area Wish we had more wineries, but we don't. We just don't have the nice valleys that are conducive for the wine grade.
No, we have to go to Hilton Head to get that.
Hilton Head's okay.
It's got enough of the sea breeze to actually bring in enough to be able to actually have wineries.
There's that. There's Charleston has a few, and I want to say Wilmington has a winery as well, but a little bit.
I don't really like the wineries around here because I don't like Moscato wine.
Ah.
Moscato sucks.
Oh, Danny,
It's wine. Any wine is good.
You would think
Danny,
that, but I have tasted some terrible Moscato wine.
You know, if you drink enough of it, you don't care anymore.
Yeah. The really unfortunate part is for HeroesCon, Scotty Young has canceled. Scotty Young does some awesome. He does a lot of alternate covers, and his stuff is really, really fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the guest list that they've already solidified. Danny Quick just mentioned that there's going to be a local from Rock Hill.
Did we just freeze?
I'm not frozen.
Which is just right.
Did you lock
I'm not
freeze?
I
frozen.
don't know. Maybe.
Dude, you froze. You just froze for like 12 seconds.
Yeah, you did.
Did you hear my audio?
No.
No.
Oh well, Spreaker did.
Yeah, we know.
You guys. Well, no. What I was just saying is Danny Quick was talking about a local here in Rock Hill, which is right around the corner. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah,
here.
we're here.
Because I just lost video from KJ. It says audio only.
Really? Seriously? Wow. Huh.
I can still see and hear both of you.
I don't know. Anyway, but what I was going to get at is, you know, if you're in the area, we're going to be at HeroesCon. So feel free to tweet us or say, hey, you know, we'll be there. Come say hey to us. See us in person.
Pass the word. Find us in person. Actually, I'm thinking I've got lead on some T-shirts.
Ooh, you know, and I'll help you out with that because I was thinking about getting some coffee mugs. I need coffee mugs. I definitely need mugs because I like coffee mugs. But
I know you do. Travel mugs specifically.
we should do just yes. Way too many travel mugs. I have like 5 in my car right now, 4 at work, and probably 2 in my garage because I was too lazy to get out of my car and put them in my kitchen before I go to work. Anyway,
dude,
I know. But you know, I think we should do a meetup, maybe at like a brewery. You know, if anyone wants to show up, because we're gonna be there from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. We'll figure it out. We've got some time to figure this out yet. We'll put it out there. If anyone wants to meet up with us, I think we should just create an event and figure out a place and we'll see what happens.
Why not? Maybe we can also do an improv if we're lucky. Get a small
live audience webcast.
There you go. Live participation from HeroesCon floor. That'd be really fun.
We'll play drinking games.
Sycamore Brewery might have it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Before we run out of time, Toronto Fan Expo is the announcements so far. That's right. You heard it right here. For the anniversary of Alien, Sigourney Weaver has joined the celebrity list for Toronto Fan Expo.
For real?
For reals.
For real.
Sigourney Weaver. But who are the important guests? Well, the next 4 are really important guests, although I don't really care to pay the money to see the first one. First on that list, Mr. William Shatner.
Don't care. Do not care.
The man, the legend, the outspoken one, Mr. George Takei.
I would pay to see that one for sure. I think I would.
The lady, the legend, the one who was in Deadpool, Nichelle Nichols.
Mm-hmm. Should be fun to see live. I think
the man who impersonates Patrick Stewart more than anyone else in the world, Mr. Brent Spiner.
Oh, he's officially signed on for that one?
Oh, yes.
Yes. We're going to see a lot of people in Toronto Fan. So yes, sir, Mr. Quick. That is Mr. Data, Brent Spiner.
Yes. The man, the legend, the El Capitano, Generalissimo. That's it. Generalissimo. Stan Lee in his last international appearance. Although he has now announced that he will be both at Rhode Island and at New York Comic Con. So New York Comic Con's October, Rhode Island is November.
Okay.
Charlie Cox appearing on Sunday only, the man Daredevil.
I'm looking forward to that one because I think this is going to be one of his first. He didn't really do too many. I think this is actually his first one. No, I'm thinking of Grant Gustin. Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash, does not do cons or has not done cons yet, and he's been yelled at for it. But
John Bernthal, who is playing the Punisher on Daredevil, so he's also been on Walking Dead.
That's right.
Eldon Henson, as we also know as Foggy on Daredevil. See, I said it right. I didn't call him Froggy this time.
Froggy? Okay, stop.
Filmmaker, actor extraordinaire, writer, and author, Mr. Kevin Smith.
I think he would be fun to have a beer with.
Along with Mr. Jason Mewes, actor, producer, and radio host, they will be doing the Smodcast live at the show. Actor extraordinaire, singer extraordinaire, a man known for his roles on Doctor Who, Torchwood, and Arrow, Malcolm Merlin himself, John Barrowman.
I bet he'd be really fun in person.
Oh, I'm sure he's a troublemaker as it is. He should have been Loki. That's what he should have been.
Then Doc Brown himself, Christopher Lloyd, and then the next four very important ladies from Doctor Who and Penny Dreadful, Miss Billie Piper.
Yeah.
From Doctor Who and ER, Miss Alex Kingston.
Woo! I wish I could. I would totally freak out if I saw her in person.
From the series Sense8 and from Doctor Who, Miss Frema Agyeman.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one, the only, the mistress, Michelle Gomez.
Michelle
the one I have to get a picture with is actually Michelle Gomez.
Okay.
Because I have to have a picture with the master or the mistress.
I can't wait to go and be with Miss Kate Mulgrew.
Yes, that's right. Kate Mulgrew, Orange is the New Black, and Star Trek Voyager, the lady, the legend herself, Captain Janeway.
Yeah,
my captain, my personal captain. Like I like Deep Space Nine, I like Star Trek: Next Generation, but Voyager is my home.
Yeah, Hollywood icon John Cusack will be there.
Okay.
Notice it's dead silence.
No one cares.
Kind of like his career. Then from Game of Thrones, the little blonde bastard. Yes, I use that word. Jack Gleason.
Nobody cares.
I would be interested in meeting him because he really did a fairly good job playing a butt face, but he's actually a very nice individual person.
I heard he got threats.
And then the last.
But anyway, continue, KJ.
Yeah. Then the last two characters that are going to be there, because we have found this land and we will call it this land. That's right. Alan Tudyk. Wash will be there. Oh, accompanied by Ooh Shiny, Miss Jewel State.
I'm really excited to Fan Expo make it up there. I'm going to drop way too much money in Canada. I already know this.
Okay, now here's the other catch that goes along with it. If Alan's going to be there, usually there's a certain cameo appearance that's going to be by a certain actor who's now going to be playing Wonder Man. That's right. I expect that we're going to see an announcement because Nathan Fillion makes it a point to be at Fan Expo every 2 or 3 years.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
So my captain will be there too.
I was actually
Good for you.
Instead of wearing this shirt today, I was thinking about wearing his campaign for I can't remember which campaign I sponsored for him, but it's the Serenity quote on the shirt and on the back. Anyway, it's one of his him and oh my gosh, Stephen Amell. They use the same company to promote for their local charities and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Oh, the FU Cancer.
A little different, but yeah, that's the one that I voted on and got my shirt in actually 2 shows ago. But it's really blue, and I have a blue wall, and you can't read anything. And I swear I ordered white with black writing, but I'm okay with it because it's still a cool shirt. So
Sure,
Hey, I'm
you
just saying.
did.
But anyway, so
Sure
we
you
have
did.
run over on time a little bit. Not too,
Oh, don't we always?
either
Don't we
we're right
always?
on time or we're way over time. So which one are we going with?
Okay. Real quick, comic book picks for this week. Unbelievable Gwenpool #0 and Lady Mechanica, The Lost Boys of West Abbey, a new series for Lady Mechanica from Benitez Productions. It's a completely independent comic.
I actually
Walking Dead is, of course, my jam and will be coming out. And I have a few others, but that's the one I'm most excited for. And I might pick up The Punisher. I don't know.
Mr.
like I
Chulak.
said, I don't have any picks this week, but I did go and grab some other books from Heroes Aren't Hard to Find not too long ago, actually earlier today. So I'm going to be reading these. And I would like to go ahead and say, though, because this is the last show before we hit Warp My TARDIS, Mr. K to the comic guy, happy early birthday to you, sir.
Happy birthday!
And a birthday
I
back to
know.
you, sir.
So you've got a birthday coming up this weekend, and I have a birthday on Monday. So happy early birthday to us.
Well, my birthday present that's going to be on your birthday is I'm supposed to get my copy of Deadpool.
Speaking of Deadpool, this is also what I bought from Heroes on Hard to Find today because I'm trying to catch up. So I've got a nice big train.
Very good, sir. Except that's Liefield's drawing on the front.
I know, but I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay.
He can't draw feet. He can't draw feet. He still
He
can't
really
draw feet.
cannot draw feet. Can you look at that, guys? It's pretty bad. It's like
feet and hands are hard.
Yeah, feet and hands are hard. But yeah, so I'm gonna read these, and I'm gonna go home for Mother's Day, visit some family, and then my birthday's on Monday. And actually, on Friday, I will be going to a golf tournament. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But
Wow, golf. The worst
So, let's see.
sport
What am I doing?
ever.
What am I doing this weekend? What am I doing this weekend? I'm camping.
I'm
I'm at a leadership training. This is part 2 of my two part leadership training thing. So, yeah.
well.
I get to go and camp for a weekend.
Happy
on my
early birthday, and
back at you, dude. I'll catch up with you on the weekend anyways.
And Tuesday, for those of you that are listening right now, you can actually go right on over to the Warp My TARDIS on Blab IM. And briefly after the show, we'll post our scheduled Warp My TARDIS, which is our sci-fi podcast, our sister show on the Geek Culture Cast Network from Legends of the Panel as well. And we're going to be doing a Farscape pretty much versus a...
No. It's Andromeda versus Farscape, not Farscape versus Andromeda.
Whoa.
ABC order, buddy. ABC order.
Man, you're Canadian. You're supposed to be like calm and easy and just. But
I lived in Boston for 13 years. Come on.
True. Absolutely. Wicked. I can't even do that. I can't wicked. But
No. If you're gonna do it, it's Wicked Pissa.
Wicked Pissa. But yeah, so. We're going to go ahead and quickly end this show because, like I said, we are going over on our time. Thanks to all of the listeners and watchers on Blab IM that have joined us. Again, you can tweet directly at us at Legends Panel on Twitter. You can tweet us at Warp My TARDIS on Twitter. You can also email us at legendsofthepanel@gmail.com and warpmytardis@gmail.com if you have any questions or suggestions for those two shows. We will see you again in 2 weeks with our upcoming show, and next week you will be able to catch us on at Warp My TARDIS for our Andromeda versus Farscape episode. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to the show and tuning in. And with that, we're going to wrap this up. So see you again in 2 weeks, everyone. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.